Hi, everyone. Hi, welcome to my spontaneous live stream. I'm here with you. I'm so excited. Um, and I just wanted to share with you all some things that are going on. And I absolutely cannot wait. Hi, Cole. Hey, how are you? It's been forever. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Hi, how is it going? Hey, hey. Oh, I love your badge. Thanks for being a super supporter, Cole. I really appreciate it. Let's give some people like a little time to get here. I have so many fun things that I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. Can you hear me? Are are you able to hear me? Hi. Oh my gosh, Ashley, that's so adorable. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Cole, that's not fun. Oh my gosh. Well, I look terrible. I was out on a walk. I haven't taken a bath. Oh, my audio and video are perfect. That's a freaking miracle. Let's hear the tea. Yes, the tea. Yes, ma'am. You guys are so stinking cute. Um, Gosh, so many things to talk about. I cannot wait to share with you guys. But mm, well, I wanted to wait for a few people, but hi. Everybody is just so stinking cute. You guys are really adorable. This is like so up close. I really wish this wasn't this close up. I feel like, oh my God, how do I zoom out of this thing? Hold on. It's like, take the zoom off. There we go. It's a little bit better, right? I want to know how you guys are all doing. Um, okay, well, the first thing I want to tell you guys is I this weekend, I'm going to talk to you about the June transits. And the June transits are really, really interesting, but I do it kind of differently. And so this Sunday's video is going to be on looking at the transits by tracking the moon. And I teach you this little technique, and I go through every single day of June. So you need to be thinking about for this Sunday's video what your rising sign is, what your sun sign is, and what your moon sign is. And I think, and also by progression. And I think it's a really cool way to look at transits, like when you track the moon. And I wanted to recommend that you guys get this book. Yeah, this is just, hi, Joy. This is just a spontaneous live that I want to talk to you guys about. So, this daily planetary guide is really good. It's by Llewellyn 2025, and it's a great way for you to be able to track the moon. So, it's really, really easy to use. So, I recommend that you get this. And then we're going to go through on my live. I'm going to be there live with you guys chatting, not a live like this, just a live chat, a premiere. And we're going to go through the best days of the month and the worst days. And by the way, I think we have one of the hardest days. I won't tell you which one it is. I think we have one of the hardest days of the entire year, mid June. And then I also think we have one of the very best days of the entire year, too, in June. So it's a great video, but I have some other really fun announcements that I wanted to tell you guys about. Um, Okay. The second thing I wanted to tell you is on June 8th, mark your calendar. And if you are a super supporter or a superstar super supporter, I will be doing live cold readings here. Hopefully, I can figure out how to work the whole thing to share my screen. I think I have to hook it up through Zoom. And then I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to do cold readings for my supporters, for my superstars, super supporters, and my super supporters. Of course, I'm not going to be able to do everyone, but I'm going to draw names. Yeah, I'm really excited. So I know I just decided to be spontaneous. I look terrible. I haven't showered in like 3 days. I went for a big jog. It's super sunny. Okay, so that's June 8th. And that's going to be my literally my live and doing my live readings. And I'm going to do that again at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so I also wanted to tell you something really, really, really special. And that is that my workshop in Seattle was just so incredible. I had about 60 people here, really 59. And some of you were there. Some of you were there, so you can talk about it in the chat. But it went like beyond all my expectations. And my mom came for one day. She's been to all my Seattle workshops, and she said, by far, this was the hands down best workshop I've done. And she didn't see the ones that I did in Barcelona, but the content that I taught was really difficult. It was super advanced, and it was deep. And it who you walked in as is not who you left as. I mean, I got to witness the transformation in my students, and it moved me to tears. I'm still euphoric. And Ashley was there, and she says same. So one of the things I wanted to brain altering, yeah, mind altering and heart altering. This is kind of a cool little story that I wanted to share with you guys, and that is that my assistant Lydia, who runs my shop at Shop Soul Navigation, she fills all your orders. She told me that she came last year. She said, I was prepared to help people in their transformation. And I was really excited to support people in any way that I could because I love the work that we do here. And then at the very end, she said, but I had no idea that I myself would be completely transformed. And wasn't it fun? Ashley, you can attest to this. It was really fun to see her start out as this quiet, strong, behind the scenes person. And then by the time we hit the karaoke party, she was like full, bold energy, like full out bold energy, like on the microphone. She was just so elevated, and I was just so proud of her. And it's just, we're like a two-man band here in Seattle. I have my editor, Conowin, who is amazing. Couldn't do it without her. And Connie Joe is in Florida. So I've got my table legs here. And Ashley says, I love me some Lydia so much. She was absolutely amazing. I just got chills. And so that was really, really cool. But one of the things I talked about, and I want to talk a little bit about it today, is one of the classes I taught. Well, let me just say this to you, that Conowin is editing the 3-day workshop. So if you missed it, you'll be able to buy it at shopsoulnavigation.com in early June, before June 15th. So just keep checking the shop and you can buy it, and you can get this workshop, and it's mind-blowing. So the first day I taught Magi astrology, golden linkages, soulmate linkages, romance linkages, and it's like a brand new technique that I use. And it's how to find the soulmate marker in your own natal chart. It's very deep, it's kind of complicated, it's complex, it's hard, and it is delicious. It is so, so, so good. And then the second day, I taught family tree astrology, your generational DNA that's been passed down onto you. And it's the family that you were indoctrinated into. And what did you receive and what didn't you receive? And in that, I think that might have been my favorite day. I don't know, but in that, I did a whole case study on the Karen Carpenter story and Karen Carpenter's family. And there's not a lot of information on how she was raised and her parents. But when you see this case study, I mean, like the doors are going to blow off your soul. It was really hard to teach because I just like had to choke back tears. And hi Shane, when I was teaching that, I'm talking about Karen Carpenter, when I was teaching that, no, when I was researching her astrology, okay, I grew up with my parents listening to her. But when I started to research her astrology, it took me 8 hours to build the case study. And I mean, I didn't do anybody else's work. I did my own research on that. It took me 8 hours, and I went to bed bawling my eyes out, just literally bawling my eyes out. The other thing that I want to tell you is there is something so remarkable about her life, and you actually will see it in the case study that I do. So that's in the day 2 workshop, and that's family tree astrology and the generational. So I was going to talk to you guys just a tiny bit about how you can see your relationship to your siblings in this life, just to show you. So you can actually take your gorgeous natal chart, and in your gorgeous natal chart, you can see your entire family story that was passed down to you. Every single house means something. Every single planet means something in your generational family tree. And then what we did, and we didn't get to do a lot of this, we only did this a little bit, but then you can use synastry with your charts. So you can wrap your mom's chart around your chart, and you can really see the same exact themes that you have in your natal chart. They're repeated in the biwheel, in the synastry. Oh, thank you all. Is this live or premiere? This is live. This is me live, sitting here in Seattle after a jog, sweaty and gross, talking to you. Yeah, India says, I am interested in solar returns. Is it possible? I actually think I'm going to do a solar return workshop in Seattle next year. Now, I'm not going to put my Seattle workshop 2026 tickets on sale until September, but I do believe, if you want to just mark your calendar, that I'm going to have the Seattle workshop again on the 3rd weekend in May. And so that's the weekend after Mother's Day, and it is the week before Memorial Day. Okay, so I wanted to just share a tiny bit about what I taught in that workshop in Seattle with you guys today, but I had more announcements that I wanted to share with you. I'm sending you guys lots of love too, right back to you. So, I wanted to say, oh, this is exciting. So I think, mark your calendars, and I'm going to put the tickets in my shop, again, Shop Soul Navigation, on July 20th. I believe that that's a Sunday, after my premiere, after my video, my Sunday video at 9:30 a.m., so around 11 a.m. Pacific time. On July 20th, I'm going to do my next masterclass. And if you are a superstar super supporter, it's free. It's just totally free. And you'll get the Zoom link after you buy the ticket, etc. And you can get it later for free too, but you have to buy a ticket for $0 if you're a superstar super supporter, just so we know who's purchased them and we have your email, because sometimes your name is different. We don't have your email unless you've given it to us. So you would buy a $0 ticket, but if you're a super supporter, it's only $5.99. And then for everybody else who isn't a superstar super supporter or super supporter, who hasn't joined my channel, it's just $19.99. But my masterclass is going to be, are you ready? Are you ready for me to make the announcement, what I'm going to teach? And it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a masterclass on Virgo. So my Virgo masterclass. It's also going to be Virgo, Mercury and the sixth house. So, what do you have in the sixth house? Where is your Mercury? And what planets, if any, do you have in Virgo? Do you have a Virgo moon, a Virgo rising, a Virgo Mars, and or sixth house planets? And if you don't have any of that, I know you have Mercury somewhere, but what house is Virgo on the cusp of? If it is on the cusp, it could be intercepted. And that Virgo house is critical in understanding your mind and how you think. And so I did a Scorpio masterclass. That is my number. Do you know that is my number one selling class? Um, People love that class. And I did a Pisces masterclass, which I really recommend that you buy because it is so deep and it's about the 12th house. It's about Jupiter. It's about Neptune. It's about where you have Pisces in the chart. And people don't realize, like Virgo, it sounds like, oh, I don't have any plans on Virgo. I won't go to that class. You have a whole house that is a Virgo house in your natal chart. You have to know what Virgo is doing in your chart. You know why? Because this is where you are developing your skills. This is where you and how you are developing your talent. So, and okay, and Katie says Virgo's south node in the 10th house. Whoop. Yeah, so you're having a nodal axis return. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about Virgo before the nodes switch. So that's going to be on July 20th at around 11 a.m. Pacific time. I hope you guys are all up. I hope it works for whatever time zone you're in. But we have that south node in Virgo right now collectively, and we're being asked to step out of Virgo energy. So, oh, good. You guys have a lot of Virgo placements. Fifth house, Placidus, fourth house, whole. Alia. Yeah. And you'll have to see if you feel like Virgo fits you in the fourth better or in the fifth. I don't use whole sign astrology. You can. You're of course welcome to use whole sign and still study with me. I just think it creates a simplicity that Placidus creates a complexity, and I think human beings are really contradictory within themselves, and I also think that they are complex. So I use Placidus house system. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury. Okay, well, you guys, Virgo in the ninth, no planets. Yeah, Shane, you got to get you some Virgo. But where's your Mercury? And Virgo in the ninth house is a very interesting placement because your belief system is ruled by your Mercury, and it has Virgo qualities. And yeah, Virgo is our relationship to perfection, to perfectionism, and how we view perfection. And so you might have perfectionistic tendencies around your belief system, Shane. Anyways, that is really exciting. Now I have to tell you this next super exciting thing. So I'm changing up my workshop in Nice. I'm going to tell you guys about it. And I'm making a small change. And I am so excited about this change. And this workshop that I just did in Seattle, which, by the way, I cannot recommend enough that you come learn live in person with me, because I'm going to tell you why in just one second. Because it is submersive and immersive. It's like going down inside of yourself where the Titanic lives. And it is so deep. So I want to tell you guys something. I didn't put on an astrology conference. I put on an astrology workshop and retreat. And so what is the difference? So a conference is at a large hotel where you probably all stay together and you go to different rooms and you learn astrology from different teachers for probably 60 to 90 minutes. And you might talk to people and you might not. You can be anonymous or not. Well, that is not what I'm creating at all. Like, you will not be invisible at my workshop. So if you like to be invisible, it's probably not the thing for you. But you can be quiet. You can be in the back. We had a person who I barely spoke to, but people are going to fall in love with your soul, with your spirit, with your energy, with your story. And it's really kind of a sacred place. And it's like 8 hours on a particular subject. So you really can get quite masterful. I will save this live, India. You're so cute. And yes, I am coming to Nice, France, the Côte d'Azur, and Americans call it the French Riviera. The French call it the Côte d'Azur, the Blue Ocean. And it's August 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st this year, just in 2 months. So if you can get there, I only have 9 tickets left. And I'm going to tell you about it because it's going to be really, really unique. And it's going to be different than what I just did, even in Seattle. And I don't want you guys to miss it. Oh, Teresa's here. Oh, Teresa, I love you. You just made a giant move. I'm so proud of you. I want to hear all about it. Yeah, Jersey left the girl. She says, Mare's workshops equal life-changing. Thank you. They are for me too. I'm still like euphoric. And I just fell in love with my students and your hearts. And I got to sit next to Ashley at dinner all night long. So at night we play. At night we go to a show. We hang out together. We go to a restaurant at 6:30 and I do not let them kick us out until they close. So we close down the restaurant and we astro talk all night. We dance, we sing, we go to the shows. Why? Because I'm a Venetian. I'm a Venetian and I love dancing. I love singing. I love the arts. I love celebrating life in a big fat Venetian way. And next year, oh my God, I am doing something so flippin' fun and brand new for my Seattle students. I cannot wait to tell you guys about it. But that's next May, and I don't have those tickets on sale. That's not going to go on sale till September because right now I'm really focused on Nice, and this is what I want to tell you. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. Okay, so I have 9 tickets left. I'm only doing this workshop in Nice for 20 souls. And I don't think I'm even going to use a microphone or stand up. I might for the first 2 days. But let me tell you what we're going to learn. The best food ever, and I got my mare fix. I know. I miss you, Ashley. Anyways, so the first thing I'm going to teach you in Nice, so this is August 28th, 29th, 30, 31. And if you can't go, of course, we're going to videotape it and I will have it edited at some point and you guys can buy it. But I'm going to teach you about your rising sign. And I'm going to teach you the depth about your rising sign. And I know I've done my whole rising sign series, but I really recommend that you watch my entire rising sign series because I go really, 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 really deep in those videos. So yes, we're going to do a recap on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you use your rising sign. I'm going to show you how your rising sign is responsible for getting you everything you want. And I'm going to teach you how to see the rising sign a little bit differently and more deeply. And I'm going to show you how your rising sign is dependent on other planets in your chart. And for everybody, it's different. Like my rising sign is depending on my sun sign and my Jupiter. Your rising sign is depending on maybe Neptune or Mercury or the moon. And so we're going to look at it like underneath, like into the bedrock of the rising sign. That's really what I should probably call that class. Into the bedrock of the rising sign. Because let me tell you why. Well, I think that people gloss over the rising sign. They stop learning about the rising sign because they think they've got it. They think it's really simple. It's not simple. the rising sign creates your chart ruler. The rising sign is so important. It literally is responsible for getting you your way. So do you get your way in life or do you not get your way? Do you feel unlucky in life? Like, oh, my life is so, jacked and screwed. Or do you feel like, do you feel like you are really lucky in life? That's a real question I want you guys to answer. And I got Armando here. Hi. And Chris says, so many long. Is this my Chris? Is this Chris? Is this Jupiter Chris? Please tell me this is. I want you here. Long car rides were helped along by the rising sign videos. I'm not going to France, but I would absolutely love to buy that class. Yeah, you would love it. Britt. Hi, Britt. Oh my gosh, everybody. I am going to see Britt on Friday. Yes, in Seattle. Can you believe that? That's because she left her hairdryer at the workshop and I'm returning it to her. Had to say that. Empathetic Intuition said, I just won $50. Britt, I miss you. Okay. So you guys kind of get it. So I'm going to teach that in Nice. And then the next thing I'm going to teach is your chart rulers. Now you don't have just one chart ruler. You have a ruler for every single house. And it's so important to understand the relationship that the ruler of the house is having with that particular house. That house is an arena of your life. And I'm making a live and I figured out how to push all the buttons and turn the microphone on. Woo! And so if you guys missed it, if you missed any of this, go back and rewatch it so you can get all the dates to what's going on at Soul Navigation. And thank you. Like and subscribe. Please, that would be great. And become a member so you can go to my Virgo masterclass. Okay, let me tell you about this third day. This third day, I had originally planned in Nice to talk about the Great Conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. And that's great, but I think I can do that in a video. And I think I could even do that in a masterclass. Inspired by Anna. Cannot wait for our future together, girl. I just adore you guys. My heart is just so full. I'm still on cloud nine. I didn't want the Soul Navigation Astrology Workshop and retreat to end. And so now I'm talking about Nice. So I want to tell you about this change. And I got inspired to do this. I got inspired to do this when I was giving my workshop and retreat in Seattle. And that is on the third day, I'm going to do something that is, I think I'm going to call it finding your story in the natal chart. And I'm going to give you the techniques on how to find your major themes, your story. And you'll see that your story repeats more than 3 times. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to sit at the table with you guys and we're going to work individually in a deep dive using your chart deeply. 20 of us sitting at a round table and we're going to do chart swaps. And you're going to start to tell your neighboring person what their themes are, what you see in their storyline and how to find it. Because one of the things, and then I have really exciting news that I want you guys to hear in just a minute. I'm not done with all my excitement. I know. I'm like a madman, crazy person over here, just like creating this soul navigation universe that I can't even keep up with. But I love it. I love it. And it's just like, I want more. I want to do more and more and more and more. And it's just so exciting. So in this chart swap, what I kind of want you to be able to do is I want you to be able to do synthesis, to do the storytelling. And I mean, I'm okay at the math. I'm pretty good at it. But I would not say that I am excellent or even great at the math. I'm good enough. But that is not where my gift is. My gift is, I think, inside finding the story, seeing the story, and doing the synthesis. And I really want to give you a piece of that gift. I want you to be able to be an astrologer. You know how people are like, I'm a cook. Like, do you cook at home? Oh, I'm a great cook. Are you a gardener? Are you a cook? I want you to be an astrologer. Doesn't matter if you're professional, paid or not, but I want you to be able to. Oh, you guys are just so sweet, and you're growing younger each year. I thought I was seeing an old video. Laugh out loud. I look like absolute crap today. I didn't care. I mean, I am like sweaty. I just went on a jog with Bo. I have not showered. I mean, it's a mess, you guys. I've been eating brie cheese, triple cream brie cheese, and drinking cases of wine in Walla Walla wine country for 5 days. I think I've gained 7 pounds, and I think it just might be happiness. And we rode our electric bikes, and I don't know if you guys saw my shorts or if you follow me on Instagram, but you can see all the fun and games that we had on my shorts and on my Instagram. Anyways, so yeah, I'm getting to be a little happy fat cat. Anyways, so this third day in Nice is going to be like really deep dive practical application of your chart, and then we're going to chart swap. So I've got 9 seats left. We've already sold 11, so it's going to be a small group. And we're going to play at night. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to have happy hour at the Blue Beach. Have you ever been? Has anybody been to the Blue Beach bar and restaurant? Yeah, it's literally on the water. Oh, let me tell you something very interesting. Let me tell you something very, very interesting about Nice. If you don't know this, I did not know this. Did you know that Bo, I saw his debut video today too. He's so cute. Bo is adorable. He's harassing the cats. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Anna. I love, love, love the way you tell the story. Meredith, will we be able to purchase this separately if we can't go to France? The tell you your star story? Yes, Amy, you will. But Conowin probably will take 2 months to put it together. So that would probably be like Thanksgiving. Yeah, but you'll be able to. I really want you to get the Seattle workshop, and that I just did. That just like blew the barn doors off my whole heart. And it was really, really, really powerful. It was really fun for me to teach. And that's going to be available in the next 2 weeks. So just look in the shop. But what I'm kind of hoping is that by the end of Nice, you can really read a chart. You can read someone else's chart. You can see the story. You can say the story. You can find the story. You can see the story. You can put the language. You know, we're learning a foreign language, and I want you to become fluent. And I find that there's just in astrology, I find that there is I don't know, not a lot of people who are teaching how to find the story, how to do the synthesis, right? And so I really want you guys to have that and get that. Okay, so the surprise thing about Nice was, did you know that Nice is not a sandy beach? It's not like little California grains of sand. It's a rocky beach, but listen to this. It's a comfortable rocky beach. But if you're coming, you need to get those little clear jelly shoes so you can wear them, or get little river shoes like from REI or something. And oh, this is so good. I love hearing what you guys are saying. Britt said, I had a client today, the story, and it was so powerful and magical. The unfolding. Oh, Britt, I'm so proud of you. So you gave an astrology reading today? So Britt came to my workshop in Seattle. She lives just north of Seattle, and I got to meet her, and she's wonderful. And anyways, so it's a rocky beach, but the rocks are like smooth rocks like this big. And so you don't get sandy, you don't get dirty. And you know, it's weird. You can put your towel out on the smooth rocks. And it's like, it's like a hot stone massage. I'm not joking. Does anybody know this about Nice? I had no idea. I was like, where's the beach? And the lady's like, you're standing on it. I was like, what? This is the beach? She's like, yeah, but you have to go get shoes. And my daughter was like, I don't need shoes. And she went into the ocean. She's like, Mom, I need shoes because those little rocks, when the waves crash, the rocks kick up onto your feet and they can hurt. Yeah. So, anyways, I have one more really fun announcement. So, if you want to come to Nice, I want you to come to Nice. Come to Nice and get one of my 9 tickets. And yeah, there's that. Okay. I want to tell you this next thing, and I am so excited about it. I don't know how I'm going to find the time to do this, but I am. And that is that I'm going to open up my Astrology Academy online for all of you that want to study online with me. And I am going to kick it off on I think it's going to be what day? I think it's going to be like December 31st-ish, January 1st, December 31st, either the last day of the year or at the very first of the year. But look in the community tab. And if you want to know about the school, you can also just send us an email to Team Soul Navigation. But my school, are you ready for the name? I'm so excited. And my friend Jessica, who's my host in Barcelona, helped me create the name. So I have to give her credit. And it's really, really cute. It's going to be called Soul Navigations Athena Academy of Astrology. So the Athena Academy of Astrology. And I am going to be teaching you live, and I'm going to do 8-week courses. My first course is going to be a basics foundation course. And then my second 8-week course is going to be a methods class, and you'll see the curriculum. And then my third 8-week course is going to be a synthesis class, and I'll keep repeating them, and we will get to more and more advanced astrology. So if you're already an advanced student, you could take the foundations course just as a sort of just sort of to cement, like as a review. And we're going to do it on Zoom. So it's going to be really, really exciting. So look for that. And look for my community posts on my Athena Academy. And it's Athena, right? Yeah, it's such a great name. And the Athena Academy of Astrology. And then I'm going to tell you another thing, and that is that I am not positive. I'm not positive if I open up this Athena Academy that next year I'm going to be able to do a workshop in Europe. So this might be my last workshop for a while in Europe. I'm definitely going to keep my Seattle workshop. And I also want to tell you that I could sell more tickets and make my Seattle workshop bigger. I could probably get more students to come, especially if I'm not going to do Europe. But I don't want to, because I love the intimacy and I love getting to share my heart with every single student. And that's what makes it a workshop and retreat rather than a conference. A conference can have, 500 to 1,500 people and you never meet anybody. You might meet one person. Well, in my workshop, all 50 people meet all 50 people. If you want to, you can. And it's intimate and it's like soulful. And I think if I was to make the Seattle workshop bigger, even though I probably will have the demand for it, I don't really want to. And that just comes from my heart. I'm not about the money. Of course, I have to make enough money to be able to afford my life and all that. And it does take a lot of research, but and time. But that's why I was saying I don't want to do an astrology conference. I don't want to blow in, teach a class, and leave. I want to know my students. And um, keep Seattle and own that space. Oh my God, Mayor. Alias says, or just hold another Seattle workshop. I could, yeah. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to turn the learning into my academy online and create the intimacy there. And the problem with that is not everybody's going to be able to attend at the time I can do it in my Zoom class. So they'll have to watch it on recording. But I'm going to try to create that level of intimacy in my Zoom classes. And I think I've been able to do that with my master classes. So I think I can do it. I have confidence. But I'm not going to do it on YouTube. I'm going to do it on Zoom. So we're in a classroom learning together. And so I want to take that time, and it's going to be a lot more time, right? Because it's going to be once a week for 8 weeks. And I want to feed it into my online schools so I can reach, more people and keep it intimate and not burn out. I have to really try not to burn out. Amy, I love you. Mayor, everything you put out is worth 3 times the price. We know you're doing this to be of service and spread the light to those with passion. Crystal clear, girl. Oh, that's very sweet. Alia, yes, but we will miss you in person, and we love and respect that about you. Hi, Danica. Keep Seattle. Yes, and I am gonna keep Seattle. I cannot not have it in Seattle. Seattle is so beautiful, you guys. And when we were driving across the state, I just was moved to tears. Joe was driving and I got to be the passenger on the way home. And we're going through the lakes, through the snow-capped mountains. Literally, the top of the mountains have snow. And then it's all green Christmas trees. And it's like windy road, like just think of like the Pacific Coast Highway, but it's all Christmas trees and lakes and crisp, clean air. And it is like just magical here. And I want to share that piece of the world with people from around the world. Um, I don't think I could have it like just in Orlando, Florida at a conference center. It just isn't me. It's not me. I just love the home, the homey feeling. So, yeah, so mark these dates down. So, and look for my announcements. I'm going to be posting about them, and you'll be able to buy the Athena Academy. I'm also going to offer a certification program. So at the end, if you do the coursework with me, I'm going to invite you in some way to collaborate with me and through a directory and help you get exposure as an astrologer at the end. So it can be really, really a great opportunity. So we're going to try it for a year. So I'm probably not going to go back to Europe at least for 2 years, and I might not go back. It depends. It depends. I'll just go back for, at vacation, but not necessarily to teach. Seattle is magical. Seattle is a portal for us, and you opened it up. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, okay. So you guys, do you want me to tell you Mexico is closer? Yeah. Mexico is delightful. But, I lived in Arizona. I've been to Mexico probably more than 25 times. And I'm going there again in October. We go every year. I had my honeymoon in Mexico. I love Mexico. And I respect Mexico. And I love Mexican culture. And I love Latin culture. And I love, love, love it. We're going in October. I just don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know if I would want to feel responsible for everybody in Mexico. I can feel that I can do that very easily here. I feel like I know the system here. I can navigate that. Hi, 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 hi. You guys are so cute. So what else did I want to tell you? Oh, so next year in Seattle. Okay, so this year, you guys, and last year, we went to like a naughty burlesque show, and it was just artful and magical, and it was just so incredible. And it's right in the alley where we do the event, so it's walking distance. But next year, if they're still open, I'm going to take you guys to Fremont. And Fremont is a little bit north. I don't know how we're going to do transportation, but I'm going to take you to see the Seattle troll that lives under the bridge. I'm going to take you to improv comedy sports. It's super inexpensive. It is hilarious. It's audience participation. It is so much fun. I am going to take you to this fantastic Mexican restaurant. I just have to convince, and I'm going to take Joe down there, and I am going to convince the owner of this restaurant, that El Camino, that we are coming on Saturday night. And I'm going to make him open up the whole back patio for us. It is so delicious. I am doing it. I am determined. And so we are going to have so much fun. You have no idea. We are going to have so much fun. Oh my God. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So that's going to be Seattle next year. And remember, that's the third weekend in May. And I'm not going to sell it out. Like it's going to be maxed out at 59, 60 people. That room that we were in can hold up to 90. Don't know how we would do that, but comments and how you respond to so many individually. That's pretty amazing, but exhausts me just watching. Your work is amazing, Chris. Oh God. Cripe, I don't know how this could land for you, but every single time I am on a live, which I am a newbie, I am only floored. I'm floored at how you have to deal with the influx of, yeah, it's a lot, but I love it. Um, Between you and Joe, Alia says, she says, that manager doesn't stand a chance. I am I am having my way. I am going to get my way. I just went there and the guy said, he wasn't the manager, but he was the bartender. He was very nice. And he said, Meredith, we have a line out the door on Saturday nights. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to have a longer line out the door because I'm bringing 50 people on Saturday, May, whatever it is. Um, um, oh, Bengal Bay in South India. Well, good morning. Let it get your breakfast coffee. Okay, so you guys, I want to just teach you one little tiny thing, and this is just something that I taught in hold on one second. This is something that I taught in my Seattle workshop. And it was like really, really exciting. So I want to teach you about the um sorry, I'm looking for my some notes that I had that I wanted to share with you. Um, but basically, I taught how, and I cannot wait for you guys to get this workshop. And again, it will be in my shop at Shop Soul Navigation in the next couple of weeks. But I taught about family tree astrology and how you can see your entire family just in your natal chart, and it is powerful. It is absolutely amazing when you learn how to do this. Okay, hold on one second. And so I just wanted to talk to you a tiny bit. Like I went through, 8 hours of this lesson. But what I want to tell you about today is how you can see your relationship with your siblings. And so if you look at your third house, analyzing your third house by any planets that you have in it and by house cusp, I just wanted to give you this little tiny gift of insight. And then you guys can go get the whole entire workshop if you want. And again, as I said, go rewatch this whole live because I talked about like what happened in this particular workshop. And this was like one of my very favorite days. But the third house is going to show um, so much about your family, how your family talked to you, how you received the messages in your family, and the bonding style of your siblings, and how your parents wanted you to communicate, or what kind of communication you were indoctrinated into. And so the third house is also sort of a house of sibling competition. And the third house also reveals if there was jealousy. And your third house and your brother's third house or your sister's third house are all going to be very different. And so it's interesting to see what your brother's third house is and what your third house is. Because if he has Mars and Scorpio in the third house, well, he probably, and you have, I don't know, Venus and Libra in the third house, he probably struggled inside the family more than you did, or inside his relationship with you. Like he might have struggles with you and you're the peacekeeper with him. So it really does matter. But I'll also tell you that the third house reveals how your family promoted curiosity, if they even did. Like, was your family a curious family? And so the third house is really, really powerful. Now, I just want to tell you that the third house is what makes you a great storyteller. The third and the ninth house. The third house, if you've got a really busy, mutable Gemini there, it shows if you moved around a lot. Did you sleep in your car? Did you drive a lot? And it also shows how your family approached learning. So very, very interesting. The other thing I kind of want to share with you, just because I want you guys to think about it, is I want you to think of Mercury inside your chart as the actual family tree with all the branches. Mercury shows us literally the branches. So if you have a lot of siblings or not a lot of siblings, look at your Mercury. And, no child has the same relationship to their parents. But I want you to think about your siblings in a different and unique way. And that is this: Mercury represents the children your two parents had, or have, or are responsible for. So the children that your two parents are responsible for in your home, that's your Mercury. And so if you had an adopted sibling, well, they're part of your Mercury. If you had a cousin that lived with you in your house, but they're your cousin, that's your Mercury. And they could be blood related or not. Amy says, I'm a Gemini rising, but nothing in the third house, which is pretty much how I felt growing up. Well, you got to look at your Mercury too. And the siblings are an extension of the parental couple. And the parental couple in the relationship are the sun and moon, or Saturn and moon, depending on how you want to look at it. I look at both. And so Mercury is like the child, the children of the sun and moon in your chart. And so this was so exciting for me to teach. And I will tell you, it took me a month. It took me probably a month to write that curriculum because I went so deep into it, and how I wanted to organize it, how I wanted to tell the story, how I wanted to talk about it. Now, I want to tell you something that's really interesting about Mercury and about your siblings. So if you have a big Neptune Mercury aspect, or if you have Neptune in the third house, or Neptune strong in your chart, or Neptune opposing Mercury, Mercury is also the things that were not said. Yes, the things that were said, but also the things that were not said, the untold secrets. And so I want to ask you this big question. This workshop's not available yet, but Conowin's editing it for me right now. And it's going to be available maybe even as early as next week. So you guys can look for it in my shop, and I'll announce it. I'll announce it in the community tab so you'll know. But I want to ask you this. Are you holding sort of the baggage or the karma of the untold stories of the generations before you? Are you holding the karma of the stories that you don't even know about from generations before, right? It's a big question. That's your Mercury. So we went to South Carolina recently for my husband's son's wedding. And on one of the days, my husband encouraged me, Joe encouraged me and my daughter, who's studying social and cultural anthropology, to go visit the oldest plantation, slave-run plantation in South Carolina. And wow, that was deep. And I mean, it was just so deep. It was so deep. Anyways, I felt such a Mercury presence there because I could feel the untold stories that only the walls knew about. I could feel the oppressiveness in the things that were said and the things that were never said. And so Mercury represents that which was not said, that which you are not allowed to say, that which we do not talk about. You know, the miscarriages and the ghosts of your family, you will find in Mercury. And so you guys, this is why I wanted to teach the Virgo class. So I'm doing my Virgo masterclass. And, we think a lot. I think Gemini gets attached to Mercury more than Virgo, but you got to remember Virgo is Mercury too. And Mercury ruled too. And so we're going to go deeper into really understanding the power of Mercury. And I don't know, I shouldn't say get irritated, but I sometimes am really baffled at how so few astrologers will talk deep enough about the archetypes that live inside of the planets. I want to see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Placidus. I use Placidus. I don't use whole sign. I don't use whole sign because it's too simplistic. And I think after the 1800s, we became psychologically aware and we became archetypically aware and we became more complex. Britt says this workshop was so beautiful. It was really deep. Cole says, I'm a Gemini sun and Mercury, but nothing else in Gemini. Well, that's a pretty strong Gemini, Cole. That's, Mercury in Gemini, it's in its own domicile. And what's in the third house? So the third house really does help you also see your Mercury. And Cole, didn't you just tell me that you had a sister? You said you and your sister just went through something tough. So look at what aspects are going on to your Mercury right now. Karen's Corner. Yeah, you have to rewatch it because I made a ton of announcements and I want you to know everything. The water bearer. Okay, so Armando, Gemini rising and my Mercury's in the 8th house. Well, in 8th house Mercury is pretty freaking deep. And there is something very big and impactful with your sibling story. And do you, the 8th house, there's secrets there. So how did your family communicate with Mercury in the 8th house? Maybe they're not loud. Maybe they're very strong communicators, but maybe they're scorpionic communicators. Missy, you're never too late, but you'll have to rewatch it. Hi, T. I wish we could have more in-depth talking about astrology and other systems. I'm going through a lot. I'd appreciate it. I wish if I had more of anything in life, it wouldn't be more money. It wouldn't be more happiness. It wouldn't be more joy. It wouldn't be more wine. It wouldn't it wouldn't be more children. I only have one. You would think that I would want that. It would be more time. I literally like run out of time on the daily. It's just flying by. I can't even remember a day when I was bored. I think I was like maybe 16 years old in Arizona. you know, I can't even remember being bored. I just wish I had more time. Yeah, Armando says, yup. I think he's referring to Mercury in the eighth house. That's a very big story, Mercury in the eighth house, because there could also be ghosts. There could be extreme deaths. There could be difficult deaths. There could be abortions or miscarriages or born out of wedlock. There's secrets. There's taboos. My Mercury is in Scorpio. So, Armando, I get it. Yeah. Let's see. I ordered my natal chart last year, but I think I used half an hour early both time. I need to book an appointment with you and give major life events. Maybe you'll be able to tell me. Absolutely, Veronica. And you guys, I am available for readings. I have some availability even in June. So that's a great way to have a deep conversation with me for sure, because then it's scheduled and it's guaranteed. But we can always resurrect your time. Absolutely. But Connie Joe is really good at that too. If you want to get your birth chart time more accurate, we can do that. But I guess I wanted to know if you are carrying the burdens of either the untold stories passed down to you and the karma of those untold stories and those secrets and those ghosts, or if you're carrying the burden of what was told to you. That is Mercury. And so I had this reading with someone and I said, you were a very wanted child. I could see it in their chart. And she said, I think I was, because my mom had 10 miscarriages before me and I'm her only child. Wow. That's really putting a burden on a kid, isn't it? Just knowing that. I don't know if I would say that out loud. I mean, it just felt heavy to me. I might, I don't know. I never had that. So, please explain Aries in the eighth house. Oh, Aries North Node in the eighth house. Well, that's where you need to go. And so you need to learn how to be very courageous inside transformation. So you're going to have transformational events that are going to transform you at the deepest level. And then taking those transformational events, being very courageous about them, being bold and brave, facing the truth, finding your courage to heal yourself and to help others heal by being willing to learn how to be vulnerable and intimate. And if you think about the courage that it takes to be wide open, the courage that it takes to be emotionally revealing, the courage it takes to say, I love you. That is the Aries North Node in the eighth, in one little boiled potato. I mean, I could talk about that for eons. I could do a whole 8-hour class on that. Yeah, Danica says that is a lot of pressure. The opposite would be worth not knowing that you were not wanted. Yes. Yeah, that is worse. Maybe. I don't know. They're both very hard. But your Mercury tells us this story. And is ephemeral? Who is that? Is that Kelly Smith? I can't tell. Oh, it's Kelly Cassidy. Yes, I I recognized her face. She said so. Yeah, that's a lot of miscarriages. I know. I had a hard time believing it. Like, can you live through that? Terrell's Tarot, well, Gemini North Node in the eighth would be about learning the occult, learning to see the magic, learning the dark arts, learning the healing arts, learning how to use your words in an impactful and transformative way to understand the power of messaging. Yeah. You guys are so cute. How would okay, I saw something how would Mercury retrograde in Scorpio? That's going deeply within. Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio is like, wow, that on the shadow side, that can get really obsessive. But that is like really understanding, the depth of your emotion and maybe even being a writer or a poet in some way, and being very brave about finding the inner truth and the depth. Um, y'all are so sweet. Okay, so your chart's rising sign and the planet, the sign rule says a lot. Yeah, and we're going to talk about not just the chart ruler, but the ruler of all of the houses in Nice. And it's going to be really, it's going to allow you to interact with your chart in a way that you probably never have before. So in Nice, I'm going to talk about that for a whole day. And, um, sometimes I really rejected some of my houses. Like I didn't really like the way my 10th house was set up. I really didn't like it for a long time until I really started to build a relationship with the ruler of the 10th house. So that's going to be kind of a piece of magic that I'm going to talk about in depth in Nice. Love you, Missy. I love having you here. Anyways, Mercury, Neptune, and Jupiter in the fifth house of Capricorn, with Taurus on the midheaven. And my Scorpio moon and Venus have me wanting to be a professional healer angel. And her name is Fun, or his name is Fun. Their name is Fun. Um, anyways, yeah, you could do a lot. I mean, you got to look at Venus, and because it's ruling your midheaven, right? And Venus can just be the transference of love. So it could also be very healing. It doesn't have to be art. I'm curious how this transiting Pluto will affect all of us early Scorpio placement peeps. I've got Venus vertex. Yeah, I know, right? And it is a square. And I think this Pluto in Aquarius is really rocking the whole world. So in the square, it's wanting to Scorpio, it's really wanting to give you an upgrade and transform your life. And now it could come through hard lessons and discomfort, of course, because it's Pluto and it's Scorpio. But I think there is an upgrade available for you, even though you probably have to, walk a mountain barefoot or in flip-flops to get there. Okay, you guys. Well, I've been on here for a long time, and I love you to pieces. I just wanted to give you that little tiny Mercury bit, but I want to tell you that in the family tree astrology, like it is very deep. And wait until you see my case study. Like, oh my God. The case study that I do in the family tree astrology, it is Mercury based, and it is about Karen Carpenter, and it's going to shock you. It's going to literally, like, whatever you think you know, wait until you see the astrological DNA. Like, it is just shell shocking. Um, I gotta go. I probably gotta go now. I gotta check out. But will somebody talk to Carrie Potter about what Venus conjunct Pluto in the Scorpio third house is? I'll just tell you, that's like a big sibling situation. Like there's something very, very loving and intense and transformational about how you were raised, how you were spoken to, were the words like spoken to you in your family, Carrie, was there a passive aggression with that Venus Pluto in Scorpio? It's very interesting. Like, how was the voice used? Inspired by Anna, she was there. Do you know I'm still watching and reading about Karen Carpenter? Me too. Oh my gosh, me too. My mom, okay, so my husband bought me a record player 2 Christmases ago or 2 birthdays ago. And then, you know what my mom did? She packed up all her vinyls that I listened to in my childhood. She packed up like my 10 favorite ones that all remind me of her: Simon and Garfunkel, Carly Simon, Olivia Newton-John, and Karen Carpenter. And so I'm listening to Karen Carpenter on vinyl out in my living room. And I got to go cook dinner. This is your first time catching me live. I know. Look, I'm a mess. I walked Bo. We went into mud puddles. He's right down here. He's so stinking cute. I need a shower and a glass of wine. And I love you guys. Will you guys rewatch this? Rewatch this. Hi, Amanda. Oh my gosh, my class is here. I'm so excited. Rewatch this so you can learn what I'm doing in Seattle, how I'm changing up Nice, France, what I'm doing with my Athena Academy, when I'm doing my Virgo Masterclass, when I'm doing my live chart readings for members. You have to be a member to get your name pulled. And I hope you guys will join the channel. It's 10 cents a day, and it allows me the time to do all the research that I need to do to be good for you. Anyways, nighty night, sweet dreams. Bye. I don't know how to stop anything. And I'll see you guys live again I think I'm doing that on June 8th. Anyways, I said all the dates in the video earlier. Okay, bye.